Fantasy with Strong Female Leads. Chapter 1, The Prophetic Birth. The celestial dance of the twin moons, Celestia and Lumina, had always been a spectacle in Eldoria, a place where magic flowed as freely as the rivers and dreams whispered through the trees. But on this particular night, the stars seemed to sparkle with a different intensity, hinting at an event of great significance. Inside a modest cottage on the edge of the elderwood forest, Lyra's labor had reached its climax. Her husband, Elric, a man of mirth and sturdy build, paced anxiously, his usual easygoing demeanor replaced by palpable tension. "Lyra, my love, if our daughter inherits half your grace and half my humor," Elric mused, "she'll be the brightest star in the galaxy, or, at the very least, the most entertaining troublemaker." Lyra, gripping the edge of the bed with determination, managed a weak smile. "And if she inherits your knack for mischief, we might need to enchant every lock in the house. But oh, Elric, think of the adventures we'll have." As the clock struck midnight, marking the birth of a new day, Alar's first cries filled the room, a sound that seemed to resonate with the very essence of magic. Fairies, drawn by the infant's potent aura, swarmed the village, their luminescence turning the night into a fairyland. The villagers, roused from their slumber, gathered around the cottage. Mrs. Gormley, who had always had a suspicious eye for the arcane, muttered, "Well, I didn't expect to see the stars putting on a performance. Maybe I should start believing in magica if only it would make my chickens stop laying square eggs." Old Man Tompkins, peering from his window, remarked, "This is no ordinary night. I might have to update my journal to include this cosmic event." And here I thought the time I saw a dragon dancing was the peak of excitement. Above, the elder dragons observed with a mix of curiosity and gruff amusement. The crimson-scaled dragon grumbled, "A new ruler, eh? I hope she learns to handle fairies. They're always buzzing about, spreading glitter and nonsense. But perhaps if she can handle them, she'll be worth watching." The village's wise woman arrived, her presence like a living legend. "By moon's light and fairy's flight, a new queen is born this night. May her journey be bold and bright, and may her heart be full of light." Her words hung in the air like an ancient spell, as the fairies performed an aerial dance, their lights painting the sky in hues of gold and silver. Chapter 2, The Awakening of Power. As Ilara grew, her magical abilities began to emerge in amusing and unexpected ways. By the time she was 15, her antics with magic had become the stuff of legend. Her attempts at spellcraft were often chaotic, leading to many a humorous mishap. One afternoon, while trying to bake a cake, Alar's spell to magically mix ingredients went hilariously wrong. Flour exploded in a cloud, turning the kitchen into a winter wonderland. "Well," Alara quipped, brushing flour from her face, "I guess I've invented the snow cake. It's a hit with the fairies, but not so much with the kitchen." The villagers, accustomed to Alara's magical escapades, took her mishaps in stride. During the annual harvest festival, Alara's uncontrolled magic transformed the event into a massive water balloon fight. "Looks like the festival is a splash hit," she declared, drenched but grinning. "Next year, we'll aim for a rain of candy. After all, who doesn't enjoy a little sweet surprise?" The Order of the Enchanted, intrigued by Alara's potential, invited her for training. Alara greeted their formality with her usual humor. "Training, you say? I hope it involves fewer riddles and more fun. I've had enough riddles from the village elders to last me a lifetime. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that riddles and I don't mix well." Under the Order's guidance, Alara's magical skills flourished, marked by both progress and playful banter. During a particularly challenging lesson, she joked, "If mastering magic involves this much effort, I might just stick to charming the local squirrels." At least they appreciate a good joke and a sprinkle of enchanted acorns. Alar's journey of self-discovery was filled with both growth and humor. Her progress in magic was accompanied by her infectious laughter. One day, while struggling with a stubborn spell, she mused, "If this spell doesn't work, I'm blaming the cauldron. It's always been temperamental. Maybe it needs a vacation or at least a new set of instructions." Chapter 3, The Trial of Shadows. The Trial of Shadows was a grueling test of Alar's courage, wit, and teamwork. Accompanied by her loyal friends Myrna, the sarcastic sorceress Kale, the stoic warrior and Finn, the roguish Thva, Alara embarked on this quest with determination and humor. Their first challenge led them into the Whispering Woods, where the trees spoke in riddles and illusions twisted their path. "Just our luck," Myrna remarked dryly as the trees began their cryptic mumbling. "An entire forest full of chatty trees. I've always wanted to have a conversation with my furniture. These trees are more entertaining than my old armchair." Navigating the maze of illusions tested their wits. Alar's humor was a beacon of light amidst the confusion. "If we get lost," she joked, "at least we'll meet every tree in this forest. And if they're half as charming as they are chatty, we might end up with a few new friends or at least a good story." Next, they faced spectral apparitions that confronted them with their deepest fears. Kale faced visions of past failures, while Finn was haunted by a world devoid of shiny objects. Alara confronted the specter of her own self-doubt. "If I'm going to be haunted," she quipped, "I'd prefer a ghost with a better sense of humor. Maybe one who knows how to tell a good joke and appreciates a well-timed pun." The final challenge brought them to the Obsidian Bridge, guarded by spectral sentinels who posed riddles with a poetic twist. One sentinel's riddle was, "What walks on 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs at noon, and 3 legs in the evening?" Alara, with a mischievous grin, answered, "A human, of course. Unless you're referring to a particularly confusing piece of furniture. In that case, I might need a bit more context." Their journey through the caverns of echoes tested their resolve with fears echoing back in haunting reverberations. Alar's leadership and humor guided them through the treacherous terrain. Through a blend of strategic thinking and levity, they succeeded, proving their worth and forging a deeper bond. Chapter 4, The Fall of Eldoria. Upon their return to Eldoria, they found the kingdom in turmoil. Malakr, a dark sorcerer with a penchant for dramatic flair, had cast a shadow over the land. The villagers lived in fear, their prized possessions hidden away, including Mrs. Gormley's prized sheep, which had become a symbol of their anxiety. Alar's campaign to restore peace was marked by both strategic brilliance and comedic flair. During her first battle against Malakr's forces, she rallied her troops with a spirited speech. "If we're going to do this," she declared, "let's make it interesting. I hear Malakr has a terrible sense of humor. If we win, I promise a grand feast with no enchanted pastries." Her leadership and humor buoyed the morale of her troops. In a particularly tense moment, she rallied them with a reminder of their shared purpose. "Remember, we're not just fighting for our kingdom. We're fighting to prove that even in the darkest times, we can find reasons to smile. And if we win, there'll be no enchanted pastries within 100 miles." As they approached the final confrontation with Malakr, Alara and her friends employed a blend of strategic cunning and comedic diversion. Malakr's grandiose threats and dark powers were formidable, but Alari's clever tactics and unyielding spirit shone through. "Malakr," she called out, "if you're going to keep throwing threats around, at least make them entertaining. A good villain should have a sense of style." The final battle was an epic clash of magic and might, with Alari's humor providing much needed relief amidst the chaos. Her leadership inspired those around her, turning the tide of battle and restoring hope to the kingdom. Chapter 5, The unveiling of secrets with Malak defeated, Eldoria began to heal. Alar's new role as a leader came with the discovery of hidden secrets about her lineage. The ancient prophecies and mystical revelations unveiled a deep connection to Eldoria's magical heritage. Alar's quest for answers led her to the ancient library of Eldoria, a vast repository of knowledge filled with dusty tomes and arcane artifacts. The librarian, Thaddeus, greeted her with an amused expression. "Ah, young Alara. I see you've come for the secrets of your past. Be warned that the library is quite the maze. If you're looking for humor, you might have to find it between the footnotes." Among the dusty volumes and scrolls, Alara discovered a prophecy about a chosen one who would restore balance to the realm. "So, I'm destined for greatness," Alara mused. "Or at least for a really long reading list. I hope the prophecy comes with a footnote about avoiding the occasional dragon's bad mood." Her journey of self-discovery took her to hidden temples and forgotten realms, where she encountered ancient beings and mythical creatures. Each new discovery was met with wonder and wit. "So, I'm the chosen one," she said to a wise dragon. "Does this come with a discount on dragon slaying lessons, or should I prepare for a lot of paperwork?" Alar's exploration of her heritage revealed tales of heroism and sacrifice from her ancestors. The stories were interwoven with magic and mystery, adding to her sense of purpose. "Well, it seems my family has quite the track record. Here's hoping I can live up to their legacy without accidentally summoning a few extra dragons along the way." Chapter 6, The Coronation. Alar's coronation was a grand event, blending regal tradition with her unique charm. The castle was adorned with gold and silver banners, and magical flowers filled the air with fragrance. The entire realm gathered for the ceremony, their excitement mingling with anticipation. Myrna, ever the sarcastic sorceress, quipped, "You know, Alara, if you ever get tired of ruling, you could always open a magical bakery. With your knack for turning disasters into triumphs, you'd be a hit." Kale, the stoic warrior, offered his support. "Remember, if you need a bodyguard or someone to test out enchanted pastries, I'm your man. And if the throne gets too boring, we can always have an adventure or two." The coronation ceremony was a blend of tradition and Alara's humor. As she took her place on the throne, she addressed the crowd with a speech that combined gravity with levity. "Esteemed guests, citizens of Eldoria, and curious fairies who showed up for the snacks, I stand before you today not just as your queen, but as someone deeply honored to serve. And if my reign is anything like my magic, expect a lot of surprises and a few laughs along the way." The ceremony concluded with a grand feast, where Alara's humor and charm shone brightly. The villagers, delighted by the festive atmosphere, joined in the celebrations. "Here's to a new era of magic, mystery, and merriment," Alara toasted, raising her goblet. "May our lives be filled with joy, and may our kingdom always find reasons to laugh, even in the darkest times." Chapter 7, The Quest for Unity. As Queen Alara began her reign, uniting a fractured kingdom was her foremost challenge. Her approach was a mix of diplomacy, charm, and humor. She embarked on a journey to visit neighboring realms and forge alliances. Her travels took her to the land of the sylphs, where their queen, known for her ethereal beauty and aloof demeanor, greeted her. "Ah, the new queen of Eldoria," the sylph queen remarked. "I hope you're not here for boring politics. I'd much prefer a lively chat about magical fashion trends." Alara responded with a grin. "Well, I did bring a selection of enchanted fabrics that might interest you. And if we discuss politics, I promise to keep it entertaining. A good alliance starts with humor and style." Alara used her wit and charm to build bridges in each realm she visited. Her diplomatic efforts were met with varying degrees of enthusiasm, but her determination and humor won her many allies. "If you're worried about Eldoria's magical creatures," she said to a council of mystical beings, "rest assured, they're all quite friendly unless you challenge them to a game of enchanted chess. In that case, you might find yourself facing a very competitive squirrel." Her quest for unity became a symbol of hope and resilience, with Alara's leadership guiding the way. Her humor and charm were crucial in forming alliances and fostering goodwill. Chapter 8, The Triumph of Light. With the realms united and the kingdom flourishing, Alara faced the final challenge of ensuring lasting peace and prosperity. The kingdom celebrated with a grand festival, a testament to the new era of unity and joy. The festival was a vibrant tapestry of music, magic, and merriment. Alara, adorned in robes of radiant enchantment, addressed her people with a speech that captured the essence of her reign. "Citizens of Eldoria," she began, "as we celebrate this new chapter, let us remember the journey that brought us here. From the chaos of battle to the laughter of our victories, we've proven that even in the darkest times, light and joy can prevail." The festival continued with games, performances, and a grand feast showcasing the best of Eldoria's culinary delights. Alara's friends and allies joined in, each adding their unique touch to the celebrations. "Here's to a future filled with magic, laughter, and a few more unexpected surprises," Alara toasted, her eyes sparkling with joy. As the night drew to a close, Alara stood atop a hill overlooking the kingdom, the twin moons casting their gentle light upon the land. The stars seemed to twinkle in approval, and the fairies danced in the moonlight. Alara's heart swelled with gratitude and pride as she reflected on the journey that had brought her to this moment. With a sense of fulfillment and hope for the future, Alara whispered to the night sky, "Thank you, dear stars and fairies, for guiding us through the darkness and helping us find the light. May Eldoria always be a place of magic, joy, and endless laughter." Chapter 9, The Whispering Forest. In the midst of Eldoria's newfound peace, Alara faced a new challenge, the Whispering Forest, a mystical realm on the brink of chaos. The forest had once been a sanctuary of magic, but dark forces had begun to disrupt its harmony. Alara, with her characteristic humor, accepted the challenge with a light-hearted attitude. The Whispering Forest was known for its ever-changing paths and enchanted creatures. Alara and her friends ventured into the forest, their journey marked by magical mishaps and amusing encounters. "So, the forest has decided to play hide and seek," Alara remarked, as the trees shifted and rearranged themselves. "Great. I hope they're at least good sports about losing." Their first encounter was with a band of mischievous sprites who demanded riddles in exchange for safe passage. Alara, never one to back down from a challenge, engaged them in a series of humorous riddles and puns. "What's black and white and red all over?" she asked. "A newspaper," the sprites answered. "But if you ask me," Alara added with a wink, "it's a very embarrassed zebra." The forest's magic was unruly, with spells gone awry and enchanted creatures causing mayhem. "We're having quite the magical adventure," Alara commented as a flock of enchanted birds fluttered about, leaving a trail of sparkling feathers. "I hope this adventure comes with a souvenir shop. I could use a nice feathered hat to remember this by." Their quest to restore harmony in the Whispering Forest led them to the heart of the realm, where they discovered the source of the disturbance via a corrupted magic artifact. Alara's approach was a mix of determination and levity. "Well, it looks like we've found the culprit," she said, examining the artifact. "Now, let's see if we can fix this without turning ourselves into toads or worse." With a blend of skill and humor, Alara and her friends managed to restore balance to the forest. The enchanted creatures rejoiced, and the forest returned to its former glory. "I'm glad we managed to sort this out," Alara said with a smile. And if anyone needs a magical problem solver, you know where to find me, probably still with a few feathers in my hair. Chapter 10, The Legacy of Light. As Alar's reign continued, she began to focus on leaving a lasting legacy for Eldoria. Her efforts to build a brighter future were marked by initiatives that combine magic, wisdom, and humor. Her goal was to ensure that Eldoria remained a place of prosperity and joy. Alara established the Luminary Academy, a place where young witches, wizards, and adventurers could learn and grow. The academy was designed to be both a center of learning and a place of fun. "Welcome to the Luminary Academy," Alara announced at the grand opening. "Here, we don't just teach magic. We teach you how to use it without turning yourself into a walking hazard." The academy was a place of laughter and learning, where students could explore the mysteries of magic and enjoy the lighter side of life. Alara's approach to education was both insightful and entertaining. "Remember, students," she said during a class, "magic is powerful, but it's also meant to be enjoyed. If you ever find yourself in trouble, just remember, a good joke and a clever spell can solve almost anything." Her reign was also marked by her efforts to promote unity and cooperation among the realms. She organized annual festivals and gatherings, where representatives from different lands could come together and celebrate their shared heritage. "To celebrate our unity," Alara declared at one such festival, "we'll have a grand feast, magical performances, and, of course, a few surprises. Let's make sure we laugh, dance, and enjoy every moment." Alara's legacy was one of hope, laughter, and enduring magic. Her rule brought prosperity to Eldoria, and her influence extended beyond the kingdom. "As we look to the future," Alara said in her final address, "let us remember the lessons we've learned and the joy we've shared. May Eldoria always be a place of light, laughter, and limitless possibility." In the end, Alara's journey was a testament to the power of humor, magic, and the strength of a leader who embraced both with grace. Her story became a cherished part of Eldoria's history, a tale of a queen who faced challenges with a smile and a heart full of hope. Chapter 11, The Enchanted Tournament. In the wake of peace and prosperity, Queen Alara decided to host the Enchanted Tournament, a grand event designed to celebrate the magical prowess of Eldoria's most talented individuals. The tournament promised to be a festival of both competition and camaraderie, with events ranging from spell duels to magical obstacle courses. The preparations were a flurry of activity. Myrna, always one for sarcasm, remarked, "I'm looking forward to this tournament. After all, if there's one thing more entertaining than a magical duel, it's watching our friends try to outdo each other while we sit back and enjoy the show." The day of the tournament arrived, and the kingdom was abuzz with excitement. The arena was adorned with enchanted banners that fluttered in midair, and magical fireworks painted the sky. Alara addressed the crowd with her usual flair. "Welcome, one and all, to the Enchanted Tournament. Prepare yourselves for a spectacle of magic, mystery, and mayhem. And remember, if you're competing, try not to turn the arena into a dragon's den." The first event, the spell duel, was a sight to behold. Competitors unleashed dazzling displays of magical prowess, each spell more impressive and imaginative than the last. Finn, ever the rogue, took part in the event with a mischievous grin. "Watch closely, folks," he announced. "I've been practicing my spells on mischievous squirrels. If they're anything to go by, this will be quite the show." Alara's own entry into the tournament was a whimsical performance involving a series of enchanted objects. Her spell summoned a chorus of floating musical instruments that played a lively tune. "Ladies and gentlemen," she said with a wink, "if my magic doesn't win, at least we'll have a great concert." The final event was the magical obstacle course, a challenging series of tasks that required both skill and creativity. Contestants navigated through illusions, avoided enchanted traps, and solved riddles. As Ilara watched, she couldn't help but comment, "If anyone needs a break from the obstacles, just remember, there's a tent with magical snacks and a dragon who claims he's the best at telling jokes. Don't miss out." The tournament concluded with a grand feast and celebrations. Ilara, surrounded by friends and allies, raised her goblet in a toast to the winners and participants, and to a day filled with magic and laughter. May our lives be as vibrant and joyful as today's festivities. Chapter 12, The Secret of the Moonstone. One day, a mysterious moonstone, rumored to possess incredible power, was discovered in the depths of the Elderwood forest. The moonstone's sudden appearance led to whispers of ancient prophecies and hidden dangers. Ilara, intrigued by the stone's potential, set out on a quest to uncover its secrets. Accompanied by Marna, Kale, and Finn, Ilara ventured into the heart of the forest. Their journey was filled with magical phenomena and humorous encounters. At one point, they came across a talking squirrel who claimed to be the guardian of the moonstone. "Ah, the brave adventurers," the squirrel chattered. "I see you seek the moonstone. But first, you must pass my riddle. And no, it's not about how to get rid of pesky bird feathers." Marna, with her usual sarcasm, replied, "A talking squirrel with riddles? I always knew we'd meet a challenge involving nutty creatures. Let's get this over with before the squirrel starts asking about our deepest fears." The riddle was a tricky one, involving both cleverness and a bit of luck. After much banter and several humorous guesses involving enchanted acorns and magical cheese, Ilara finally solved it. "And the answer is," she declared, "a key to unlock the secrets of the forest. Or a very determined squirrel with a knack for riddles." With the riddle solved, the group continued their journey and discovered an ancient temple hidden beneath the forest floor. The temple was adorned with intricate carvings and magical traps. As they explored, Ilara mused, "If this temple was built by ancient wizards, I hope they had a sense of humor. Navigating these traps might be easier if we had a few enchanted mopsa or at least a guide who knows the way." The moonstone's secret was revealed to be a source of immense power, capable of amplifying magical abilities. Ilara, after much consideration, decided to safeguard the moonstone rather than wield its power. "We've learned much from this adventure," she said. "But sometimes, the greatest power lies in the wisdom to use it wisely. Let's keep this stone safe and continue our quest to make Eldoria a place of joy and light." Chapter 13, The Time of Trials. As Ilara's reign continued, an ancient prophecy surfaced, foretelling a time of trials that would test the strength and unity of Eldoria. The prophecy spoke of challenges that would push the kingdom to its limits, and Ilara knew that it was her duty to prepare her people for the trials ahead. The first trial was a series of natural disasters that struck the kingdom. Earthquakes, storms, and magical disturbances wreaked havoc across Eldoria. Ilara, determined to face these challenges with grace, organized relief efforts and provided guidance to her people. "In times of crisis," she said, "we must stand together and support one another. And if we get through this with a smile, we might even turn these disasters into a new festival called the Festival of Resilience." Her leadership during the trials was marked by both compassion and humor. As she visited affected villages, she reassured the people with her characteristic wit. "If anyone's worried about the storms," she joked, "just remember that even the darkest clouds eventually pass. And if you need a distraction, I hear our local wizard has a new spell that makes rainbows dance." The second trial involved magical creatures that had become restless and aggressive. Ilara and her friends embarked on a quest to calm the creatures and restore harmony. Their efforts included humorous encounters with magical beasts who were more interested in playing pranks than causing harm. If these creatures keep up their antics, Alara quipped, we might need to open a magical zoo. At least then, we'd have a few more jokes to share. Through a combination of diplomacy, clever magic, and humor, Alara and her team managed to soothe the creatures and restore balance. I'm glad we've managed to keep our sense of humor through these trials, Alara said. After all, laughter is the best magic of all. The final trial was a test of unity and courage. Alara gathered representatives from all the realms and led them in a grand assembly. We've faced many challenges, she said, but the greatest trial is the one we face together. Let us stand united and face whatever comes our way with strength and laughter. The trials tested Eldoria's resilience, but Alara's leadership and humor helped the kingdom emerge stronger and more united. The prophecy's trials had been met with courage and joy, proving that even in the face of adversity, Eldoria could thrive. Chapter 14, The Veil of Shadows. The tranquil harmony of Eldoria was shattered when a new threat emerged from the Veil of Shadows, a dark dimension previously thought to be sealed. Mysterious figures began to infiltrate the kingdom, sowing discord and fear. These shadowy beings were determined to usurp Alara's reign and plunge Eldoria into chaos. Alara first became aware of the threat when her most trusted advisors began to act strangely. I'm afraid you've caught me at a bad time, one advisor said with an unsettling calm. The shadows have whispered many things. Alara, always quick to notice when something was amiss, turned to her friends for support. It seems we have a shadowy issue, she remarked, her tone a mix of seriousness and humor. And I don't mean the kind that can be solved with a quick spell and a lot of sunshine. This sounds like a full-scale adventure. The Veil of Shadows was an ancient and ominous realm, known for its twisted magic and deceptive illusions. Alara and her trusted companions Samirna, Kale, and Fenna ventured into the Veil to confront the source of the disturbance. The journey was fraught with danger, with shadowy creatures lurking and illusions that played on their deepest fears. In the heart of the Veil, they discovered a dark sorceress, Morgathia, who had been manipulating events from behind the scenes. Morgathia revealed her plan to overthrow Alara and claim the throne for herself. Did you really think your reign would go unchallenged? Morgathia sneered. The shadows have always been here, waiting for the right moment to strike. Alara faced Morgathia with a mix of determination and wit. Well, you've certainly made things interesting, she said. But if you think you can scare us off with shadows and threats, you've underestimated our ability to laugh in the face of danger. Morgathia unleashed a wave of dark magic, but Alara and her friends fought back with a combination of bravery and cleverness. Let's show Morgathia that shadows don't stand a chance against a bit of humor and light, Alara declared, as they engaged in a fierce battle against the dark sorceress. The confrontation was intense, with both sides using powerful magic and strategic maneuvers. In the end, Alara and her team managed to outwit Morgathia and banish her back into the Veil of Shadows. Well, that was a shadowy affair, Alara said, panting but smiling. Let's hope we don't have to deal with such darkness again anytime soon. Chapter 15, The Shattered Crown. With Morgathia defeated, Eldoria seemed to return to normal. However, a new crisis emerged as Alara discovered a troubling prophecy hidden within the ancient texts. The prophecy spoke of a shattered crown and an impending catastrophe that could unravel everything she had worked for. The prophecy revealed that the destruction of a powerful artifact, the Celestial Crown, would bring about chaos. The Celestial Crown was a symbol of unity and strength for Eldoria, and its destruction would have dire consequences. Alara, determined to protect her kingdom, embarked on a quest to prevent the prophecy from coming true. As she investigated the prophecy, Alara found herself in a web of intrigue and betrayal. It became clear that someone within her inner circle was conspiring to bring about the prophecy's fulfillment. Ah, the joys of hidden enemies and cryptic prophecies, Alara quipped. I'm beginning to think my life would make a great magical drama. Her investigation led her to the discovery of a hidden chamber within the castle, where she found evidence of a plot to steal and destroy the celestial crown. To her shock, the traitor was someone she had trusted deeply, one of her most loyal advisors. You really had me fooled, Alara said, confronting the traitor. I guess it's true what they say, even the most loyal can be hiding secrets. And yours are rather dry.